Sing. But with insights and guidance from author experts just like us, you can tackle the writing process competently and be assured that the goal of being a published author is within reach. Welcome to the Caribbean Authorpreneur Summit, the place for Caribbean authors to shine. With each staging of our summit, leading Caribbean author experts at home and in the diaspora share their stories and strategies to win with books beyond book sales. In the process, aspiring and published authors are inspired and lives are transformed. The Caribbean Authorpreneur Summit will ensure that fewer books die in the minds of their authors, more manuscripts become published legacies, and precious lives are transformed with the turn of each page.
Let's welcome mission is to raise up 10,000 winning Caribbean entrepreneurs by 2030 to ensure fewer books die in the minds of their authors, that more manuscripts become published legacies, and precious lives are transformed with the turn of every page. Let's welcome C. Ruth Taylor, aka the Rocket Writer. Ruth has created the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy and the first Caribbean Authorpreneur Summit around her book, Authorpreneur Secrets. As an Amazon best-selling author, she has coached several Caribbean authors to become Amazon best-selling authors. Her mission is to raise up 10,000 winning Caribbean entrepreneurs by 2030 to ensure fewer books die in the minds of their authors, that more manuscripts become published legacies, and precious lives are transformed with the turn of every page.
Welcome everyone to the final session of the Caribbean Authorpreneur Summit. It has been a blast for me. If you have attended all the sessions, let me know, is this your first, second, third, or fourth session? If it is your first session, put one in the chat. If it is your third or second or fourth, put I want you to put a number in the chat and tell us where you're joining from. It just has been, for me, it has just been like so emotional. Last night left me wrecked. I could hardly sleep thinking about, the graduation and what publishing means to those who've been trained. And as a source said, this is our fourth session. Okay, very good. And since you're the first to respond and you've attended all four sessions, I'm going to send you an e-copy of this book called $1 Million Book Secrets, the author's shortcut to making millions without mass book sales. Claudette says this is our third session. So Swar, you won yourself a prize. All you need to do is email me your details at ruth@authorpreneursecrets.com. And so I'm typing this in the chat, authorpreneursecrets.com, and I'll follow up with the delivery. It's going to be delivered by Book Funnel. If you've been on our mailing list, we have been promoting a historical romance giveaway on Book Funnel. We've been doing that for a couple of days. Anybody got a chance to download that? I did. I got Dale's book again and somebody else, depending on the title. And so let me type my email again, Ruth@authorpreneursecrets. I'm making some typo in the chat. Oh gosh, that's why we need editors and proofreaders to help us. Anyway, the theme of the closing session is book festivals and diaspora connections, why book festivals matter. Today in South Florida and Miami, there was the Jamaica Brew Festival, and Dale is the co-founder of that. with Consul General Oliver Mayer. And so he's coming on the heels of that to join us this evening. But before he comes on, who is our main presenter, we have to get some business out the way. But some of you, it might be your first session and you still don't know what is entrepreneurship. We're going to play the final tutorial of the full course, which has 9 tutorials, and it's going to be about 15 ways you could convert your book to a profitable income stream. So I know you're looking forward to that. But we're going to do our theme song. We've only done it at the start, and now we're doing it at the end. I want you to grab a book, all right? And you're going to make a declaration this evening. So I'm using this one, $1 Million Book Secrets, because I want to turn more of my books into $1 million assets. And we're going to declare, this is my year. My book is going to do great. No one can stop it. So grab your book. I'm going to bring up that video. And just instead of saying, I'm going to do great, just put my book is going to do great. No one can stop it. So I'm going to share screen and share our theme song from Lamborghini. This is my year. Let's go, folks. Come on.
This is my year. This is my year. I'm gonna be great. I'm gonna be great. You cannot stop me. No one can stop me.
No one can stop me.
This is my year.
This is my year.
I'm gonna be great. You cannot stop me. No one can stop me. Are you ready? I'm ready. 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 Visualize it. Visualize it. Manifest it. Manifest it. I mind my business and I no complain. Every day I dey work and pray. As I dey chop, I dey wash my plate. I dey wash my plate. Don't be surprised when you see me elevating. Don't be surprised when you see me celebrating. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when you see me celebrate. This is my year.
This is my year.
I'm gonna be great.
I'm gonna be great.
You cannot stop me. No one can stop me.
No one can stop it. All right. So we declare that and we expect it. Kevin from Trinidad. Hi, Kevin. And this is your first session. All right. So we've done our declaration. And since it's the final session, I'm going to flash a little video that highlights all the speakers. I want to thank all the speakers, all the participants so far. And all the speakers you've been hearing from have been females. And tonight, this evening, we're going to have the king among the queens with us. So, normally people do vote of thanks at the end. I am doing it at the beginning. I want to thank all our speakers, all our presenters, and everyone who has attended the summit so far. And I want to encourage you to join our registry for Vision 2030, 10,000 Caribbean Authorpreneur Rock Stars. So let's get into it. What is authorpreneurship? You may be wondering what that is. So it's a blend of author and entrepreneurship. And the mode that we're talking about is, in addition to selling your book, you want to build something with the content of the book, or use the book as a business card and create something that is at least 10 times the price of the book. And you find when you do that, you will be able to create sustainable income faster, because guess what? The average author sells between 300 and 1,000 copies of the book in his lifetime. If they're not famous, they don't have a large following or the backing of a big publishing house and a lot of marketing. It takes work to sell books. But when you create a profitable program with the book, with the content of the book, or use the book as a business card, you're able to make more money. For example, this book, I wrote and published it in a day. That's the ebook. And within 90 days, I made $1,600 in profit without selling 5 copies. And by the end of the year, I made $2,500 by turning the content of this into a program. You know how many books you have to sell, and minus royalties and whatnot, to make $2,500 in profit? That's what we are talking about in a short space of time. So what you're going to see is one of the videos in the free course. All you have to do is go to authorpreneursecrets.com, and right on the page, it tells you where to sign up. So let's go. Let's see if I can find my video. 15 profitable income streams that you can consider to turn your book into to another income stream besides selling it. Let's go. We take it to the next level. So leveraging books for greater. This is what we're all about. We take it to the next level. And I have discovered over 30 plus ways that you can leverage books, and I'm only sharing about 15 this evening. And these are not strange to us. Look at them as well as you leverage the books for greater, but these also become profitable income streams, and each is different, right? So books are profitable courses. These can be online courses. These can be face-to-face courses. These can be automated courses or live courses or live masterclass. So the very same thing that is in the book, you turn it into a course. That is popular. That's one of the things that I specialize in. There are people who are teaching online courses that over like 10 years have made 7 figures. They're US millionaires just from teaching courses. And what they do sometimes is to convert their course to a book. I push the opposite, which is the book to the course. Then there's book to workshops. I've seen that. And that could be workshops / seminars. Depends on the name that you give to it. Let me see the pause here for to see if I can see the chat. Each time I touch it, it goes away. All right. Then there's books to boot camp. As a matter of fact, the book Authorpreneur Secrets, I wrote that book, then I had a boot camp. And then from that boot camp, I turned a section of the book into a course. So your one book can be multiple courses. Books to mastermind. A mastermind is like a special little support group. There are people who pay for that, and you help to build each other. And I was part of a business mastermind last year, and the leader of the group was using her book. So the book could be the curriculum for the whole mastermind. Books to consultancy. Right now I do publishing consultation, and I have books that talk about publishing. And sometimes I have checklists. So at the end of it, and persons want to know, how do I upload my book to Kindle Direct Publishing? I just take out a portion of the book, I create a checklist, and I send that to them. And you can charge by the hour, you name it. Books to coaching. The consultancy is different from the coaching, right? So I do that as well. So I have coaching programs. Whereas the book, for example, is like, somebody may buy the book for $15 US. I have one coaching program so far that is $1,500. That's what we're talking about, leverage for greater. And I have a client in that right now. Books to speaking. Naturally, once you write the book, your speaking engagements will come. And sometimes it's just an interview. Most authors are shy, but speaking will be required. Books to movements. You can write a book that's at the heart of a movement that you want to create. Like right now, somebody could write a book about yes, they can, and books that liberate persons. So you can start movements. Books to transform systems. So like Paulo Freire's book, what is it? Pedagogy of the Oppressed. That book, its content was used to transform education systems throughout Latin America. Books to business. People have used their books to start businesses. I have a friend, she's writing a book on real estate right now, and she's going to use that to start a business. Books for advocacy. There are two guys who started to advocate for the poor and the disabled in Mozambique. And what they did was to chronicle the story of somebody who was affected by the landmines. And they used that. They wrote a book. The book became a bestseller. They leveraged that to speak to the power brokers, presidents, the UN, and things like that. Books to launch a product. So a friend of mine over the weekend, she launched her online academy, but the person who helped her was a person who wrote a book on creating courses. So she has leveraged that now to gain the authority now to launch products. I wrote a book, Authorpreneur Secrets, and launched my academy. So I'm living proof. Books to mentoring. I have a book that I use for mentoring right now. So I'm mentoring personally 3 young people with my Design to Win roadmap and the Design to Win books. Books to leadership development. We all know that as trainers. My course, with my doctoral course, we have to read a lot of books. There's a book right now, The Complete Leader. Out of that book has come a podcast. Out of that book has come training tools to select leaders. And so we're talking about leveraging books for greater. All right. So the Design to Win roadmap, out of that came a training course, a conference, different things. So I'm giving you my own examples. And the Authorpreneur Secrets, out of this book has come the membership group, has come courses, has come publishing packages, has come consultation. A lot has come as a result of that. All right, that's it for today. Just reminding you that of the making of books, there is no end. Go pen it to win it and dominate authorpreneurship. Ta for now, until next time. All right, so you're wondering what examples, you have 15 there. And when you get the course, there's also a tutorial on $1 Million Book Secrets. $1 million in US, in your currency, what you can do to turn your book into $1 million asset without selling thousands of copies. All right, so we're inching closer to the main event. Just bear with me a little bit. On the final night of the 2025 Caribbean Authorpreneur Summit, we made a number of announcements. The summit, one of the chief sponsors of the summit is Bamboo Sparks. That's my publishing services business. And we had, for the first time, we announced that we were going to have a physical publishing summit and expo. And we had that in April. We also announced that we were launching 2 publishing prizes, a youth publishing prize valued at $3,000 US. That would get your book published, and we do some marketing for you. And we announced a legacy prize for somebody 50 years and over within the Caribbean. Well, we got as far as Cuba. We got applications and we reviewed them, and we ended up with 2 winners. It happened to be 2 educators. And so I'm going to show their books and congratulate them. So the winner of the Youth Publishing Prize for 2025 was Samiqua Nelson. Her book is Fundamentals of Animation, and it was released today, but we did a pre-order and it became an Amazon bestseller. So you're seeing the little orange tag. It's number 24 out of 100. And that's the Kindle version. The print version paperback will be coming out let's say by the end of next month, the latest. And so congratulations, Samiqua. And the book is on Amazon now, and you can get it. She's an animation educator, so at one of the high schools in Kingston. So this book is going to be a textbook. So sometimes you don't have any money, but you have these. Look out for the prizes, look out for the competition, and don't be afraid to enter them, because you could just very well win. I'm going to show you the book on Amazon. It's $9.99. You can go over there and get your copy. So here it is, live and in living color. So this is it, Fundamentals of Animation, a companion guide for Caribbean students by Samiqua Nelson. And she's gotten some good endorsements. So we want to keep it on the bestseller list. It changes frequently, so it's no longer on that list, but we can put it back there and go out and support and read it. So congratulations, Samiqua. All right. Then for the Legacy Prize, 50 and over, we had Suzanne Muir, another educator an associate professor at a university in Jamaica, and she won the Legacy Prize. And her book is Fab Fitness Over 40. Live well, feel good, look great. I'm over 40, so I will be reading this, you know. I want to live well, look good, and feel great as I get older. And so congratulations, Suzanne. And her book is also on Amazon, and it's at $2.99. So go get it and leave a review. The price will go in the future. So go get that. Let me show you it on Amazon. And you don't need a Kindle to read these Kindle books on Amazon. You can just download the free app. It's as easy as that. Because sometimes persons ask me, do I need to get a Kindle? No, you can download the free app. So there is the book. And so 2 educators won. The prize will be given again it's every 2 years. So 2027, we will again open it for submission. So congratulations, Suzanne Muir and Samiqua Nelson, on this achievement. All right, we're inching closer, right? So I've gotten that business out the way. I don't think there's anything else. So let's welcome. No, I need to big up the sponsors and then welcome Dale. All right, so our sponsors are Bamboo Sparks, the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy, Rock Stone Publishing House, and Heart Publishers. And we have 2 featured books, Dale's book, When Trees Fall, and my book, Authorpreneur Secrets. It's at $2.99 until tomorrow. So you can go out and get it. All right, so let me introduce our presenter for this evening. Get ready to take notes, because we're going to make a bucket list and we're going to try to visit all of these festivals. This is a good way to travel around the world, and get your questions ready as well so that you can ask Dale some of these questions. All right, so let me introduce him and then put him on. So he's going to be talking about the benefits of book festivals, right? And why these things matter. Here we go. 1 second. Technical difficulty. Let me remove this. Wrong slide. Let me introduce Dale. This one.
Roots run deep into the eye.
Here we go.
Today I have with me Dale Mahfood. He's an author and a co-founder of the Jamaica Brew Festival. He was born in Kingston, Jamaica, to parents whose roots run deep into the island's past. He has lived in London, England, and also in the U.S. Eastern Seaboard from New England to Florida, where he earned a master's degree in English education from Florida International University. These experiences, combined with his career in education, have developed his passion for writing and diverse peoples and places. In 2022, he published his first novel, When Trees Fall, which is book 1 of the Wood and Water series. And he's currently working on book 2, Up from Mountains. They lives in Florida with his wife, Janet. And together, they also offer publishing services. His wife specializes in developmental editing. And Dale will be sharing in the final session of the Caribbean Authorpreneur.
Hello? I'm not hearing for some reason. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Because I don't hear anything on your end.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
I'll be backstage and you just present.
Excellent.
All right.
So, hi, everybody. As Ruth so kindly said, I am Dale Mahfood. I am very privileged and honored to be here. Ruth and I go back a little bit. Some time ago, we both listened to Joanna Penn's The Creative Ped podcast, and I heard this Jamaican lady on there. I'm like, who is this lady? So I tracked her down through the internet and I connected with her, and we've become friends. Last year, I invited her to come to the Jamaica Brew Festival. We had a panel talking about the benefits of traditional and of self-publishing. Ian Randall was representing the traditional, and Ruth was representing the self-publishing, and it was a really good meeting. And so she invited me to come on here, and it is my pleasure to be here. I do write, as you guys saw, I write novels. I don't write nonfiction. That's fine. And one day I might. Maybe I'll write some sort of craft book about writing and that sort of thing. But yes, so I've been invited, as you guys know, to speak about the benefits of, sorry, my brain today, the benefits of literary festivals. Ruth, can we start showing the, there we go. So here we go. So literary festivals are an excellent way, as we go here, understanding what they are. Literary festivals are more than readings and book signings, and it's important to understand that. They are cultural meeting points for us as writers, for our readers, and also for industry professionals that we might connect with, people like Ruth, who are, in the publishing world. Maybe you need a book designer, maybe you need an editor, maybe you need a formatter, whatever it may be. Maybe you need somebody to help you market. You get to meet people like that there. And for Caribbean authors, literary festivals actually fill the gap. As we know, in the Caribbean, there's a bit of we're kind of behind a bit on the opportunities for, publishing that much of the world has. And so these festivals begin to fill those gaps and meet some of those needs. So it's important to be able to attend them. What are they for? Understanding them. Literary festivals can act as networking hubs. Even today at Jamaica Brew Festival, I was there today on the 23rd one, not the 23rd, the third Jamaica Brew Festival. And I went without trying, you just kind of meet people. And I met somebody and we talked about her book cover. And I said, man, I might need a new book designer. I really like what happened. So we're connecting with that. Then I'm talking to somebody else and that person narrates books. And so I need somebody to narrate my novel. And we kind of hooked up in that way. So they're great networking hubs, both for connecting with other authors and connecting with publishing people that you need their services, or they may need your services. They're audience builders. So because I've actually participated and presented at a few book festivals, I was amazed when I went there today that quite a few people knew who I was and have been following my career. And I wanted to drop on the ground and say, really? So they kind of help to build your showcase. It's that along with the social media that I do and that sort of thing. But all of those pieces work together. And they're cultural showcases. So Jamaica Brew Festival, for instance, as many of the Caribbean type festivals, they are an opportunity to for Jamaican works or Caribbean works to be read, histories to be kept alive, even new things in our cultures to be able to be dispersed among the diaspora and so on. So they're great showcases. And all of this can happen in one space, in one literary fair. So they're just a great place to be able to go to for those reasons. All right, so why they matter for us as authors. They give us visibility, as in people, actually see our faces that maybe have heard about us, like this lady I spoke about today. She had been following me and I was now a real person to her. They add legitimacy, especially as we get the opportunity to present. But even if you're not presenting necessarily, you may be out there selling your book. And so, it gives you that legitimacy. So those face-to-face encounters are important, and you sort of use them to build lasting readers. So I remember there's a lady that I met on Instagram. She is, I think she's Palestinian or Jordanian. And the next book I'm writing, one of the characters comes from Lebanon, a Jamaican who came from Lebanon. And so I've been making that connection with her. And then I heard she saw that we both saw we were going to the Miami Book Fair together. So we decided, hey, let's meet up and, have a chat. So we became friends. My wife was there. We had a good time. And now that's a friend that I'll keep up with, and she'll keep up with me. When my novel comes out, she might invite me to her book club. So it's just a good opportunity there. Again, though, they also give exposure to publishers. For instance, if not this year, but the year before, Ian Randall, like I said, was at Jamaica Book Festival Fair, and you could have got the opportunity to meet him. You could have met Ruth, that sort of thing. So it's a great way to meet editors, booksellers, and people who need your book. All right, so festivals as career builders. One festival often leads to other invitations and other possible publishing outlets. So when I was invited to Miami Book Fair, they have something called Read Caribbean, which is a section where they have authors from all over the Caribbean, and they have panels and they have readings, quite a few workshops during the Miami Book Festival Fair. And I knew the lady who was running that, so I sent her my book thing. She can do with it what she wants to. Lo and behold, she invites me to be on a panel with Jeffrey Phillips, who's well known in South Florida and probably Jamaica as well for his writings, and Saphir Sinclair, who wrote Oh, Babylon, how to say Babylon. And her book just went skyrocketed. So here I was, little day on Mahfood, sitting with these well-known authors. Well, that kind of opened up doors for me. And I've had several podcast interviews, other opportunities to share my work. So they really do open up doors and opportunities in that sense. So as it says here, festivals help authors to move from isolation to sustainability. Like anything, it doesn't happen just the first festival you go to, but you begin to meet people. Your face becomes recognizable. The next, you try and go back to the same festival if you can, or another festival where a lot of the same people go, and you begin building that recognition and that sustainability from that point. All right, why diaspora connections matter. Caribbean literature travels. I love this point. Caribbean literature travels because Caribbean people travel. And so, as you know, I'm in the diaspora. I'm in South Florida, and there are people all over the world. In some of the least expected place, you'll find Jamaicans, because wherever there's an opportunity, we're going there to thrive, right? And so we bring with us our culture. And so they're diaspora, they're readers of Jamaican diaspora or the Caribbean diaspora, because I know obviously this is a Caribbean summit as well, who are all over, and they're looking for opportunities to be refreshed in their culture, to remember things, to kind of hold their identity together. Even somebody at the Jamaica Book Fair today, she presented a book that she wrote for diaspora children who were born here in the United States, and to help to give them a foundation of who they are and who their people are. I think that was wonderful. So we act as bridges between home and abroad. Again, whether we're here in the diaspora or whether we're in the Caribbean. Diaspora engagement sustains Caribbean literary culture. So the truth is, the Caribbean needs people in the diaspora to continue to pour into the diaspora, but to support their Jamaica's. I keep saying Jamaica. Forgive me, I'm Jamaican. The Caribbean, what's happening in the Caribbean, and it kind of goes both ways, back and forth. We support one another. So going to these literary festivals help with that, and it helps for Caribbean people in the diaspora to go back to their countries that are having festivals, and it helps for the people in their countries to come into the diaspora and share that as well. All right, so I'm going to go through a few literary festivals that are worth going to. I have not, by all means, I have not gone to all of them. I've only been to 3 of them, and I have connections and I know about other ones. So there's probably the biggest Caribbean one that I can think of that has had the most effect is the NGC Boca's Lit Fest in Trinidad and Tobago. That's one I definitely want to go to. When I first wrote my book, I did enter it into their literary competition because I get my name out. At least maybe some people know me there now because I'd sent that. But I do hope to visit that. There's Calabash International Literary Festival. If you're in Jamaica, you know about that. That's a very well known around the world because some big name non-Caribbean people have spoken there before, and it's just a fun place. It's at Treasure Beach. We know right now Treasure Beach took a beating from Melissa, but hopefully by next year, it's every 2 years, so hopefully by the time it comes around in, I guess, 2027, things will be back up and running there. But that's one worth going to. Jamaica Book Festival, I think that one is pretty new. I think it may be a few years old, but I hear that's in Montego Bay, and that's a good one to check out. Then outside of the Caribbean, there's the Brooklyn Caribbean Literary Festival, of course, up in the New York, Brooklyn area. And that one, it was kind of nice. They contacted me and asked me if I would promote it because they know I promote a lot of authors. So that was fun to work with them on that. I hope to visit that one again. And then for those of you who speak Spanish, and it was cool that Ruth mentioned that somebody from the Caribbean, from Cuba, had entered the competition. There is the Havana International Book Fair. If you write in Spanish or you write about Latin American countries, that's a great place to go to, and a great, you can always have books translated into Spanish. So that's a great place to go and make contact and possibly sell books. All right, there, myself and my wife, and that is, those of you who know Amina Blackwood Meeks, she was there. And talk about making contacts. I knew her because I took one of her courses online, and she had given me some feedback on my novel. So it was such a joy to actually physically meet her for the first time. And there I am at the open mic. I wasn't invited to speak, but at the open mic at Calabash, you can go and share your work. So that was fun. Then more intimate Caribbean festivals, the smaller scale, deeper community impact. There's Nature Island Literary Festival and Book Fair in Dominica. If I'm not mistaken, that's more of kind of a very small atmosphere where there may be more sort of workshop type hands-on, perhaps. I'm not really sure. You could check further into that, but that sounds like a really cool one to visit. Virgin Islands Literary Festival and Book Fair. I was surprised when Charmaine Wilkerson, who wrote Black Cake and Good Dirt, she told me, we met through Instagram, she told me she had recommended my book for that. Nothing came of it, but it was just great that she recommended it. So that's another good one that obviously author like Charmaine Wilkerson would probably recommend. Then there's the FAFW Lit Fest in Montserrat. I think, and I'd not heard about this. I believe Ruth told me about this, and I looked it up. I think that's sort of more of a several day thing. So it sounds more like a real festival, perhaps. Then you could check that out if you're interested. And then, of course, in South Florida, there's the Jamaica Brew Festival. And so there's me. Actually, these two were last year. I got to share some of my writing, and then I monitored a panel with Ian Randall and with Ruth, talking again, like I said, about traditional and self-publishing. But Jamaica Brew Festival is a great place. It's small. And yet it's big enough. There are a lot of people that do come from, it's in Broward County, Florida, and believe it or not, Broward County, Florida has more Jamaicans than anywhere outside of Jamaica. So there's a good crowd that shows up, and a lot of, we do give a lot of people the opportunity who are sort of up and coming, and I appreciate that myself, the opportunity to share their work. So that's a great way to go. And like I said, today, just hanging out, talking to people, I made a lot of great contacts for possible things I need in the future. All right, then this is what I call Caribbean allied festivals. They're not necessarily originating as Caribbean festivals, but they actively engage Caribbean literature and authors. And like I said, the Miami Book Fair has Read Caribbean, and I know I met a first-time author there from Trinidad, and apparently what he did is he just sent his book and said, hey, I'd love to be there. And I guess there was an opening for somebody from Trinidad, or they maybe needed another male author, or who knows. And they said, yeah, come on up. So you never know. Most of the time it's somebody you know, but sometimes it's just an opportunity. So you take every opportunity, like I did in sending my book to the Boca's Lit Fest. And then there's the Black British Book Festival in UK, which obviously there are many Jamaicans in the UK and Caribbean people. And so you know that that's highly influenced by that. So that's another one to check out if you're in the UK area, or if you want to take a trip to England. So there's me. This is the middle one is Olive Senior, who she is a poet laureate of Jamaica, And this was the first time I got to meet her this year, so that was a pleasure. And then lo and behold, up on the top right, there's Marlon James. We were walking down one of the areas and somebody said, wait a second, that's Marlon James. And sure enough, and I'm feisty, and I went up and met him, and we had a great talk, and we talked about some possible ideas for, different books or movies that we could write. So not write together necessarily, but it was a great opportunity to meet him. And he said he was going to buy my book, so that was cool. All right, so large international festivals, and these are the two big large international festivals. There's Frankfurt Book Fair and in Germany, and that might be the biggest one. There are a lot of in both of these, and the London Book Fair as well. There are a lot of publishers that go there. It's just a big book fair. I know personally I'm not ready for that yet, but I would like to get to the point where it's feasible for me to go there. It is generally feasible to start with smaller festivals and then sort of work your way up. But so those are bucket list festivals for me. And then finally, business-focused, book-selling, business-focused festivals. There's Author Nation in Las Vegas. That's the largest indie publishing conference. That is definitely a conference I want to go to. I've just heard many great things from many people who have gone, and that is a definite bucket list for me. And then there's Self Pub Con. That's 100% online and 100% free. And it's associated with the Alliance of Independent Authors, ALLI. So that's a great one to check out. Again, it's free. What they do is they offer it free during the conference, and then after that, it's for you have to pay to see the videos, or if you're part of ALLI, a member of ALLI, I believe you get those free. So both of those are good options. So that's it for the list that I have. Now there are, like I put here, there are many other and many more conferences. You may find a book fair or festival in your local area that I've not mentioned. Go to those, be a part of them, meet the local people and the local authors and publishers. All right, so some practicals. Before you go, obviously research the festival or festivals, and decide which one would be best for you to begin with. Or maybe you've gone to a few, should you kind of take it up a notch. Research the festival and its audience. What type of audience is going to be there? What's expected there? Can you just bring books and sell? Or like, for instance, Calabash, many of them have a bookseller. I know Calabash has Kingston Bookstore. They sell the books, so you can't just bring your books and sell. So you need to look into things like that. Prepare a concise way to describe your work. So when you're talking to people, it's sort of like a little elevator pitch, a non-aggressive elevator pitch where you can talk about your book without seeming too pushy and kind of boring people to death. Bring simple contact tools like cards, QR codes. I have little cards here for my book, and I have a QR code on the back. So things like that you can kind of, leave information with people. And while you're there, just set realistic goals of what you expect to happen. If you're a first time going to a festival, not that you shouldn't have goals, but don't expect the moon, all right? Maybe just expect, you get to the clouds and you're happy with that. So in other words, build and grow from those things. And well, let's go to this. We'll get to what I was going to say. Budgeting. Obviously, you have to factor in travel, lodging, food, books that you didn't intend to buy, but you end up buying because you heard the author and fell in love with the author. So you have to think about things like that. Clarify what the festival covers. So some festivals will pay for certain things and then you have to pay for the rest. Figure that out. And then when you're thinking about your budget, view festivals as long-term investments. You're not necessarily, it's like advertisement. You don't get an immediate return, but over time, people recognize the product and, oh, that looks interesting. I've seen that before. Let me buy it. So a festival is a long-term investment. It's important to be able to look at them that way. All right, so planning your time while you're there. View the schedule ahead of time. Usually they're all online. View the schedule. Choose the authors and events you want to attend. Consider other people who you are attending with. So when I went to Calabash, I brought my wife. She's an editor, but she's not, she's not necessarily an author, and she's not even Caribbean. So she's interested in Caribbean things, or she wouldn't have married me. but so she didn't want to go to everything. So she, hung out with some other people, and that's fine. You have to think about other people that you're going with. And then also while you're there, don't schedule yourself out so much that you're not leaving time to meet people, to meet the people you're sitting with, to meet readers, to meet writers, to meet, publishers. So schedule some time for that and don't burn yourself out. All right. During the festival, be present, supportive, and professional. It's easy. Okay, I'll tell you, this is a confession. So I went to Calabash, and I love Kai Miller's work. So I saw him, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to meet this man. I have to get him to sign my book. I tracked the man down, and I hounded him down. And afterwards, I felt so bad that I did that. I had to go back up to him and apologize for doing that. So, be professional about how you're doing things. Don't treat readers as customers. Treat them as people that may end up being your readers. And the same thing, writers and editors and publishers, don't treat them as transactions. Treat them, again, as people, whether you end up doing business with them or not. And be realistic. Don't burn yourself out. Make sure that while you're there, you have scheduled to get time to rest. Are you an introverted person or an extroverted person? Budget your time accordingly. Introverted people, they go and they give, and then they need time to, refresh and to recharge. Extroverted people like myself, I come back from a festival and I am fired up and excited and can barely get to sleep. So, you need to know who you are and schedule your time while you're there productively. So when you leave, you're like, I'm never doing that again. So that's important. You have to enjoy yourself. After the festival, within the week after the festival, take some time to process. Maybe not the first day or second day you get back, but maybe the third day, make some time to process what you went through. What did you learn while you were there? Maybe go through your notes that you took. What action steps do you need to take? Who do you need to follow up on with to nurture new relationships? So today when I was at Jamaica Brew, I met several people, got their cards or their bookmark or whatever for contact reasons. Sometime this week, I'm going to either email or text or give them a call to say, hey, it was great to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you more in the future. No pressure. I'm not going to ask them for anything, and just in time, see how that works out and that relationship builds. So don't waste the time that you spent there. Take some time and process things through and contact the people that you need to contact. All right, so here are my closing reflections, and I hope I've probably gone over the 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Hopefully there'll be time for Q&A. But closing reflection, literary festivals, number 1, open doors. Number 2, build bridges. Number 3, grow careers. And number 4, and maybe the most important of all, carry Caribbean stories worldwide. So that's it.
Give it up for Dale. Send up some hearts. Was that informative? Now is the time for the comments and the questions. And if you know of a literary festival that we should be interested in to add to our list, please put it in the chat. So, Dale, that was very interesting. I like the fact that you gave us a variety of festivals. Like I told you, I'm going to make my own bucket list because I'm going to use this as one of the ways to travel. One of my dreams, I said, I want to visit a country where, I want to visit the countries where I have friends. So because I was a missionary, I have friends all over. I have friends in Australia, I have friends in Chile, I have friends all over. So I said, one way to travel would be to visit my friends wherever they are in the world. And then when we did a podcast interview, you said, but another way to travel meaningfully and still have fun would be to go to book festivals. And I am so happy for the list. Here's a question. Do book festivals accommodate or embrace nonfiction?
Yes. And I'm sorry I didn't address that. So yeah, absolutely. At the festival I was at today, Jamaica Brew Festival, there were several people who had books that were nonfiction books. So absolutely. It's not just, we tend to think book fair must be fiction, but quite the opposite. I would say at least as much nonfiction as fiction.
Excellent question. I think there's a correction here from Anne-Marie, who is from Montserrat. She says it's the Alioguana Festival of the Word. So that's where you get the AFW.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, she presented at the festival, I think it may have been last year or the year before, and I presented a couple years back as well, online for me. All right, any other festival or questions you want to drop in the chat? Marva, do you know of any festivals that we should be interested in? You mentioned Author Nation. What's his name? Patterson. James Patterson was at Author Nation this year, and not this year, last year. We're in a new year. And so some of the big name authors are there. And like I said, I was in our interview, I was invited to the London Book Festival, but the budget wouldn't allow it. And I saw on the internet some Indian book festival that the founder of the Jamaica Book Festival that she went to in Shanghai recently. So you have quite a number of them that are there, and like I said, I'm making a bucket list. So let me ask the audience as well, from the list that Dale shared, which of these do you plan to attend in the next 2 to 3 years? Let me know. Put the one that stood out to you in the chat. Come on, let me know. We want to make this interactive, though we're winding down, you know.
So while they're putting things in the chat, you're right. I had not even thought of Australia and India, but both of those are big markets. I know India is a very big market for books and English books as well. So yeah, there are a lot all over the place.
And I should think that there are some things in China as well. I co-authored a book with somebody in China. I'm Ruth, his boss. There's no romantic involvement. And I you know, when you write and co-author with books too, it can expose you. But you know, China is known for printing cost effectively and things like that. So maybe there are also festivals there. So it's not just, we're talking about festivals that, not just Caribbean festival, but festivals that you would be interested in as Caribbean people to just expand your horizon.
Yes. And
so any of those that stood out that you would want to go? Kevin, are you still with us? Kevin is, he promotes Caribbean literature. Oh God, I am massacring the name of your, I feel like Dale now. Can't remember some of the things. Caribbean literature, tropical literature creatives. He's from Trinidad and he helps with author promotions.
Nice.
Yeah. Any of those that you're planning to go to? All right. So one of our attendees says, I was already planning to go to Calabash with my books, hopefully to read at the open microphone. I was there 2 times before with any books or without, I'm not sure. I've never been to Calabash, so I should put it. It's 2 years now in a row that they've had it, that my team has said, let's go to Calabash, but it seemed to always clash or it not convenient. So I think I should add Calabash
Definitely
to it. Sora says she's curious about the Jamaica Brew Festival, and it's both literature and film. Talk to us about the film aspect of the festival. Is it that you show new films, short films? That question is to me. Yeah.
It's short films, usually around 5 minutes, or maybe a little longer. We've done it different ways. Last couple of years at the end of the event. This year, I think it was nice. They interspersed them between the live speakers, and so it's just a nice showcase of Jamaican films and filmmakers.
And I think that is nice because, like, for example, I want to turn many of our books into short films. My dream is to win a short film award for one of the books that Bamboo Spark produces, whether it's animated, especially like an animated film, but if it's like a regular film too, that will work. So when we go to these events, therefore, we can connect with filmmakers and see the possibility.
As a matter of fact, I met a young filmmaker, and one of his shows was his films was being made, and I got his card because you never know. I have some short stories I would love to turn into movies, you know.
All right. So a mentally healthy you says, sounds like Calabash is an option or a look for when I travel for my nursing honor society. Good. I love that. Anne-Marie says, Bocas Lit for sure, and possibly the Black British Book Festival. Yeah, I want to go to Bocas Lit. I hear about it so often. So yeah. You've given us, ideas, things to think about. And it's a good meetup point,
Yes.
And yeah. So like how this summit has been online, 2030, Dayla invited you, God willing, to be the guest speaker for our Caribbean Authorpreneur Summit Grand Gala in 2030, when we have the Caribbean Authorpreneur Rock Stars, and we're going to launch that coffee table book. I'm hoping we can do a Kickstarter for it because I want to feature at least 1,000 Caribbean Authorpreneur rock stars, their stories, and it's a coffee table book. And then the ones that they raise up, of course, they will be featured, but these special ones who are partnering with me will be featured. And with that said, I want to bring up that page. And it's easy to remember, authorpreneursecrets.com/cars. Caribbean Authorpreneur Rock Stars = cars. And I want you to register. Dale, it's open to people it's Caribbean at home or in the diaspora. So you would qualify if you've made $1,000 at least from an Authorpreneur initiative. And you are pledging that, listen, I want to encourage 10 other authors to create one profitable initiative around their book and make at least $1,000. That's all we're asking you, just to explore another way to use books beyond just selling it and to make money with your books beyond just selling it. And that can include author services. So when you go to the page, you can sign up for the register. Will you be one of our Caribbean Authorpreneur rock stars? If so, go and register. I saw one person register for already, because if 1,000 raise up 10, that's 10,000. And like I said, we want to do it in grand style. It's either going to be at the AC Marriott or the Jamaica Pegasus. So it's going to be an evening of, elegance and all of that. So big bashment. And when you go on the same page, the free course throughout the summit, at each session, I played one of the tutorials. You want to learn more? You can register for the course there. 8 self-paced tutorials, an entrepreneurship worksheet, steps to earn between $1,000 to $10,000 every 90 days with your book, beyond book sales, and $1 million book secrets. And I can tell you from now, next year's summit will be all about sustainable income and making a living with your books. By that time, I'll be Dr. Taylor, and I'll be sharing the findings of my study. So I encourage you to do that. All right, show Dale some love. Dale, that was informed. I know you're tired because you've been out all day. Send up some hearts, show him some love in the chat, and tell us what's your takeaway from his presentation. What are you leaving with from this final session? Type it in the chat. I'll display it, and send up some hearts, man. Those on YouTube, I'm sending up some hearts right now to show my appreciation for Dale and such an informative presentation. So send up some hearts, show him some love. Come on. And what's your takeaway from today for those who are here? What's the takeaway? All right. So while you do that, thanks, Dale. I'm just going to wrap up. It was a pleasure having you.
My honor and pleasure. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. All right. So what a summit. Anne-Marie says she has been motivated to expand her horizons and attend literary festival. Great information. Me too. Last year when I was invited to Jamaica Brew Festival, I fell ill. I was hospitalized, and so I had to share in it via a video. But I want to put it on my list. It's just that sometimes it clashes with this summit. So over the years we've had this summit like in the 3rd week of January. Now we have it at the end, and both events intersected. So I want to put that there. So we've learned about how to write faster and smarter with AI. We've learned about how to publish smarter and faster and with some AI tools. We saw some people graduate last night from author to publishing services providers. That may not be the route you want to take, right? So when I said everybody needs to become a publisher, I showed you 15 different things you could do in the entrepreneurship space. This book has a breakdown of those as well, so you can get that. And tonight, we want you to expand your horizons. Now, what's next now that the summit is over? Well, some of you already may have a book. We had one young lady who wrote a book during the summit, in 2024. And so what next is for you to join the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy. Today is the last day where you can get expert support, top tier support to self-publish your book without breaking the bank. And it's $99 per month. I run that group. I go in once per month, but you're also assigned a coach who will work with you and hold your hands. And it's 3 to 6 months. Well, month 1 is almost over. But once you publish your book, you can leave at any time. And the aim is to help you to publish, keep your costs under $1,000. So I know a mentally healthy you, that Cheryl, she's already in the academy. Marva is a past student of the academy. Anne-Marie published her last book through the academy. A mentally healthy you saying, thank you, Dale. My takeaway is to consider other options, including book fairs, and she never thought of that. Yay, we've accomplished something from that. So I am saying, sign up for the summit.
That you will learn at the summit. It can be a starting point, but the push that you will need to finish definitely is in the academy. So, I mean, the summit just whets your appetite. You can do a lot. You can start off there. You can get to stage 2, which is like getting your beta reader and then fine-tuning your manuscript from that. But and then having a strategy of how it is that you're going to market afterwards from the summit. But when it is, getting to that finish line, definitely that handheld process from the academy is going to be a big, big, big advantage to you to get you over that hurdle that takes you to the finish line. So I would recommend anybody who is serious about getting their book out in 3 to 6 months, definitely join the summit and follow up with the academy.
And if you're wondering where's the link for that I'm going to put that in the chat. So that's authorpreneursecrets.com/ASAM. And you can go and register for that. Secrets.com. So for those who've been here for several sessions, how was the summit for you? Because we're now at the end. Can I get some feedback? Is there anything you would want to see discussed at another summit? Because we have what, 27, 28, 29, and then 30. We have 4 more to go. Is there anything you would like to see discussed at another summit that we haven't touched on in the 6 staging that we've had? What's your any takeaway from today or throughout the whole period? What action are you going to take? We want you to move from information to implementation. What action are you going to take as a result of coming to this summit? What's going to change for you? What are you going to do differently? Can you put it in the chat? What action are you going to take as a result of the summit? Anybody, are you planning to write a book? We've had several books come out of this. Are you planning to publish? What action are you going to take? Sora says it has been very edifying. Very good. Anybody else, your takeaway, and what's your next move now that the summit is finished? Or any topic you want us to share on the next summit? Last year was all about marketing, and I found that, very, very interesting. And so I know my takeaway is I am going to go to a book festival. And I'm going to experiment with Claude, because I've never used Claude because I am old-fashioned. It's just ChatGPT. So I'm going to experiment with Claude. I was introduced to Claude, so I'm going to experiment with Claude. All right. Maureen says she will be writing her book. Woo! You just said the magic word, Just say book and I will light up. All right. Sora says, I will be courageous about learning AI tools. Listen, I was reticent. It took me years. Even WhatsApp, it took me years before I decided to take WhatsApp, because I'm an introvert and I felt like this thing going to give people more access to me. So it took a lot of convincing just to go on WhatsApp. I was hearing about ChatGPT and other AI tools maybe 3-4 years with Joanna Penn, because she's always ahead of time. And it felt strange to me. It was when somebody close to me introduced me and I read a book that I got on board. So don't worry about it. But let's just put a little foot in the water and try. On the first day, I started 2 books. I will be in contact with more questions. Excellent. And remember, I said that anybody who finished a book at the end of the summit, you could send me, because you can write a book in 24 hours. You could send me, that is by I will give you until tomorrow. And I will do a structural edit. And I'm going to throw something else in there. I can give you 1 month off of the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy. You're going to get 1 month free. So if you finish the book between the first draft by Sunday midnight and email ruth@authorpreneursecrets.com, the first person to do that, you're going to get 1 month publishing support through the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy. And I'll do a structural edit of your book. Give you the feedback, because sometimes that's where although pro writing aid can do it, you need that human element to see if the story is all together, if the nonfiction is well organized. So I'm throwing that in there because Damarley that testified tonight, she wrote a book during the summit and she went on to publish it within 6 months later. So it is possible. Let me see. One final one. Claudette says her thing is that the action to be more progressive in her writing. And Claudette won a prize earlier today. Swore you've won yourself an e-copy of $1 Million Book Secrets because you've attended all the sessions. So that's it. Remember, of making many books, there is no end. Go pen it to win it and dominate entrepreneurship. Ta for now. Until next year, God willing. This has been fun. Take care. Bye, everybody.